Hello and welcome to My Real Hair. My name is Tiffany Polk. I'm the founder and CEO of My Real Hair. And right now what I'm doing is refreshing a 2-week-old coil out. Just giving it back that vibrance, that shine. The products that I'm using to refresh this coil out are Shea Moisture's Jamaican Black Castor Oil Leave-In. I'm also using Eco Styler olive oil gel, using a little H2O as needed, and I'm also using some almond oil. What I've done is I've sectioned off the hair. Normally the bottom layer holds the best. It has the least manipulation, so those coils hold to form pretty well. They have the least frizz. I went through and I checked to see her coils, which ones needed to be recoiled and which ones didn't. I'm now working on the side and I have to do the top. What I do is I gently untwist the coil. I spray a little water. I take my fingers and I just run it down through the ends, not forcing the hair to separate, but just gently getting it to separate as I go along. Take a little bit of leave-in conditioner. I run it along her strands, and as soon as I do that, I can tell the softness and the moisture has been returned back to her hair. I just work that through. Take a tad bit of olive oil gel, and I run that down as well. I have my Denman, and I'm running that along the strands of her hair just to make sure there aren't any knots or any kinks in there that might tug and pull when I'm doing it. And then I just twist and coil. Now this section of my client's head tends to hold straight. It takes a little more manipulation to get this side to bounce up with the curl, but eventually it does, and I just go back over the parts that need it as needed. And as you can see, it's just getting a little refresher. It didn't look bad. She actually kept up with it really good, so it's making it a lot easier on my end.
So what's the best way after you get your hair done and get it done the way you're doing it right now, as far as to keep it up? Like, what's the best things to go about? What steps do you take?
My suggestion is to get you a satin scarf. I know you hear a lot about bonnets, and bonnets are actually great, but for this, to keep those edges nice and smooth, you have to have a little pressure on them. So a satin scarf is the way to go. So when you tie it down at night, it'll smooth your edges back out for the next day and kind of keep them smooth and sleek. Because as you can see, her edges have kind of begun to puff out. And if you want to keep them sleek and smooth, the satin scarf is going to give you a better sleekness and smoothness than a bonnet would. You can always spritz a little water to the scalp. Not too much, not a douse, just a light mist, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean as far as that's concerned. Just to put some moisture to the scalp, just to give it a little hydration, because water is moisture, guys. Oil is not. Water is what our hair needs. Make sure when you do this, you have your clips ready and all your products that you need on hand. This is the easy part, because her hair actually held the coils really good for the past 2 weeks. And what's good about coil outs is it's low manipulation. Once you get them in, you really don't have to manipulate your hair a lot. So the hand to head syndrome, you avoid that, because you don't really have to do anything. But if you want to separate them, you can do that after a while. You can wear them coiled, or you can separate them, which I do. I wear it coiled maybe for a week or a few days, and then after that time, I separate the coils for a fullness, and you get more wear out of it that way. Like I say, I'm just going over with some leave-in, working that leave-in in, adding that moisture back, and a little olive oil gel just to make sure that the edges have that sleekness. She actually has an event in Atlanta, so I want to make sure that she goes down there feeling her best. And as you can see, her hair is pulling up beautifully. Just kind of lifting, like I said, some of the edges, ends take a little bit more manipulation, but I work with them throughout the course of me doing her hair. And that was a part of her edge. Now see, this is the other part that I'm working on. And if you could tell, her edges fluffed out, which is not a bad thing. If you like me, you like a little free. So, but since she's going somewhere and she has an event coming up, I want them to look fresh and smooth and sleek again. And I'm just taking my finger and just gently working my way through her hair. And like I said, when you add the leave-in, it gives it that slip. You can tell that it's rehydrating the hair. Any moisture that was lost, it's putting it back. And that's what I love about the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil line. It gives a lot of moisture. It returns that moisture that you need. And this is, like I said, just to refresh. I did the initial coil out with the Camille Rose Almond Joy Twisting Butter, which is excellent for coil outs, twist outs, anything of this nature. It is one of my favorites. It's my go-to. It is my go-to. And that's it, guys. I just wanted to let you see how I went about refreshing this coil out and what all I did to do it. And I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching My Real Hair. See you next time.